Spirits are sent to monitor you, to trace the rhythm of your life, to watch your rises and your falls. They sit quietly in corners, perch at the edges of dreams, waiting for weakness in an unguarded moment. And you, wondering why doors refuse to open, why blessings arrive broken, why peace slips like water through your fingers, you question yourself. But the truth is, you are not fighting air. You are living in a battle older than time itself, a battle that started before the first cry of man echoed across the earth. Spiritual warfare is the reason some nights are sleepless, the reason opportunities vanish just when you reach them, the reason joy turns to ash in your hands. The monitoring spirits, the whispers of witchcraft, follow bloodlines, call curses through generations. They mark the child before she can speak, stalk the son before he learns to stand. They are real, patient, and relentless. But you must also know this: if warfare is real, deliverance is real too. If darkness presses in, light presses harder. For every shadow, there is a fire that burns brighter. God never left his children without weapons. He never allowed them to walk the battlefield unprotected. The herbs of the field, the oil of the olive, the salt of the earth, they are not mere objects, they are divine reminders, evidence that creation itself testifies of his power. The unseen enemy cannot withstand what has been sanctified by prayer, cannot endure what is ignited by faith. Do not believe the lie that you are powerless. The fact that you feel opposition is proof that there is greatness inside you worth attacking. You are hunted not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous. The adversary does not monitor the ordinary. He watches the extraordinary, those who carry light, because light exposes every work of darkness. When heaviness clings to your chest in the morning, remember, warfare is real. When prayer feels resisted, remember, warfare is not imagination. When you sense unseen eyes watching, waiting, remember, victory already belongs to God's children. When the Most High called the earth into being, he did not leave it barren. He clothed it with trees that clap, rivers that sing, mountains that bow. In the quiet fields he planted herbs, roots, leaves scattered like treasures. Each green leaf a testimony, each root a covenant, each herb a letter in the language of healing. These are not accidents. They are intentional, crafted with purpose, breathed upon with divine wisdom. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," whispered into the soil, "Let there be medicine. Let there be protection. Let there be covering for my children." Before pharmacies, before men ground powders or pressed pills, the earth's apothecary was stocked. God wrote prescriptions into plants. Nature became the first sanctuary of healing. When you touch the leaves of these herbs, you touch the fingerprints of God. When you boil them, breathe in the steam, you inhale what the Creator designed as a shield. They hold memory, purpose, and power. Some heal the body, some mend the spirit, some scatter the works of darkness that follow silently. Some drive insects from the flesh, some drive spirits from the air. Some roots steady shaking bones, some roots steady trembling souls. Just as oil was poured on prophets, kings, and priests, the water from boiled herbs can be poured over you for washing, renewal, and declaration that no witchcraft shall hold, no monitoring spirit shall find a home in your house. The enemy fears what God placed in creation. He twists it, counterfeits it, tries to turn God's medicine into poison. But the truth stands. The earth belongs to God. Its leaves, roots, and herbs carry his authority. No curse can nullify what God has sanctified. Boiling herbs is not just making a drink, it is releasing ancient power. Steam rises like prayers ascending. Water touching your skin is heaven washing over you. Herbs are God's language written in green. When used with faith, you read aloud what creation has proclaimed since the beginning. God is healer, deliverer, protector. Do not dismiss his gifts. Small things carry great power. A stone brought down a giant, a small jar of oil fed the widow, a staff split the Red Sea. In the same way, a simple leaf, a humble root, an herb can carry heaven's decree. Creation sings of freedom. If you listen, it will sing you into victory. Fire is sacred. From the first spark to Pentecost, fire is never ordinary. Fire purifies, consumes, transforms. When water meets fire, when herbs are lowered into boiling water, something invisible stirs. Boiling is not just heat, it is heaven's refining power. Dry leaves whisper, boiled leaves speak. Fire unlocks hidden things, breaks what is bound, turns stillness into motion, weakness into strength. When you place herbs in boiling water, it is more than a bath. It is prophecy. It reenacts the truth of the altar of Elijah, where fire consumed the sacrifice. The bubbling pot becomes an altar, steam becomes incense, herbs a sacrifice of obedience. The water carries purification, freedom, and witness. Like Israel following a pillar of fire, the boiling flame protecting your herbs is God's unquenchable power. Do not despise the boiling. It is holy, prophetic, revealing hidden things, breaking what is bound, strengthening the weak. Every bubble is a declaration, every hiss of steam a song of liberation. Bathing in this water is not just washing. The world sees water and skin. The Spirit sees more. To bathe is to declare, I will not carry yesterday's dust. It strips what clings too tightly, releases what curses or battles try to fasten to your soul. Entering the water of boiled herbs cleanses the body and proclaims, I am renewed, I am made new, I am washed. It echoes baptism, the Jordan River, Naaman's waters. Water carries memory. It remembers who made it and who it covers. When you enter with prayer, it remembers you, cloaks you in protection, and declares, you are no longer bound, you are free. There are spirits that do not roar or strike. They hover, linger, watch silently. These monitoring spirits attach to lives to drain, not bless, to bind, not guide, gathering intelligence for darkness. They move quietly but leave fingerprints on your path. You feel them when doors that should open jam, peace slips away, or cycles repeat generation after generation. These are not coincidences, they are parasites in the spirit feeding on destinies. Yet parasites cannot survive cleansing, cannot dwell where there is fire, cannot remain when blood and prayer speak louder than curses. The eye of the Lord burns hotter than any enemy gaze. Once exposed, these spirits are powerless. When the water of boiled herbs touches your flesh, they shriek. They cannot cling to what is purified. Declaring by faith that your body is God's temple removes their hold. Every chain dissolves, every whisper fades. The bath is a weapon, a covering, a declaration. Heaven sees, the enemy recoils, and the spirit rejoices. Spirit, they scatter. For parasites cannot dwell in sanctuaries where the fire never fades. You must understand their mission is to distract, to discourage, to delay. But they do not hold the final authority. Their reports never reach higher than God's throne. Their whispers cannot overpower God's promises. And like parasites pulled from the skin, they can be removed from your destiny, cast into the fire where they cannot return. So when you feel watched, do not panic. When you feel followed, do not tremble. It is only proof that you carry something valuable, proof that you walk with a light the darkness cannot hide. Every parasite faces its day of exposure. Every watcher experiences its night of blindness. Every spirit that stalks must bow before the Spirit that saves. There is a fragrance in the earth that people overlook. The leaves hold it, the roots cradle it, the oils release it. It is the scent of anointing woven into creation itself. When God formed the heavens and the earth, He did not stop at stars and rivers. He breathed power into the smallest seed. He placed healing in the bark. He poured protection into the roots. He whispered deliverance into the herbs. Nature was not made merely as decoration, but as an ally, a living reservoir of God's presence. The anointing is not limited to bottles of oil poured by human hands. The anointing runs through creation like blood through veins. It drips from olive trees. It rises in the cedar. It hides in the balm of Gilead. Every herb, root, leaf, and branch has a purpose, a calling, a mission to serve the children of God. This is why the psalmist said, "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof." Fullness means nothing is excluded. Fullness means creation itself carries God's provision. When you crush a leaf, the oil that flows is not merely plant matter. It is memory. It is obedience. It is creation responding to its maker. When you boil a root, the steam that rises is not only heat but intercession, as if the earth itself were joining your prayer. When you walk through a field and the scent of herbs rises to meet you, it is not only fragrance, it is testimony. Nature declares God's glory, not in words but in action, not in speeches, but in the quiet authority of what it carries. The enemy knows this too. That is why witchcraft imitates what God consecrated. He steals herbs, oils, and roots, twisting them into tools of darkness, hoping you will fear what God made holy. But remember this, what God made cannot be destroyed at its core. Evil can imitate, but it cannot create. Darkness may borrow, but it cannot own. Herbs were spoken into existence by the voice of the Almighty, and His word never returns empty. When you take what He created and dedicate it with prayer, it returns to its holy purpose. It becomes not a tool of bondage, but a weapon of freedom. The anointing in nature is not just physical, it is prophetic. A tree can bear fruit, but it can also testify. A river can quench thirst, but it can also part seas. Oil can soothe skin, but it can also crown a king. Herbs, when used in faith, can cleanse the body and drive away spirits that do not belong. It is not superstition, it is revelation. It is not folklore, it is covenant. God placed everything necessary for life and godliness into the earth, for healing and protection, for sanctification and deliverance. So when you stand over a pot of boiling herbs, do not see only plants. See creation waiting to serve. See the anointing hidden in leaves ready to flow. See nature responding to your faith. Creation groans, waiting for the sons of God to manifest. When you step into that water, creation rejoices. The leaves say, "We were made for this." The roots declare, "This is our mission." The fragrance rises as worship, saying, "God's anointing flows here." It is a holy mystery that the smallest things carry the greatest power. A drop of oil can set apart a prophet. A crushed leaf can break the hold of sickness. A handful of herbs boiled and prayed over can make spirits flee into the night. The anointing in nature was never meant to stay hidden. It was always meant to serve, to heal, to protect the children of God who understand it. The earth may give you herbs, fire may boil them, water may rise in steam, but without faith they are only leaves in liquid. Without faith they are only roots softening, fragrance rising without effect. Power is not in the act alone. Power is in the belief behind the act. Faith opens doors. Faith turns locks. Faith bridges the seen and the unseen. It has always been this way. Noah built an ark, but faith made the wood strong enough to survive the flood. Moses lifted a staff, but faith split the sea. The woman touched the hem of his garment, but faith drew power from him. Faith drives every miracle, energizes every command, empowers every word that shifts the atmosphere. When you step into a bath of herbs, it is not the water alone that cleanses you. It is faith saying, God has sanctified this. When you feel heat wrap around your body, it is faith whispering, His fire burns. Away every chain. When water ripples against your skin, it is faith declaring, I am covered, I am free, I am whole. Without faith, ritual is empty. With faith, every drop becomes oil, every bubble becomes prayer, every breath of steam becomes a hymn to heaven. Faith transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. Faith makes the small mighty. Faith places God's mark on human action. Do not be surprised God requires faith. Faith is trust. Trust is intimacy. Intimacy is the door to power. Without faith, nothing pleases Him. Faith is heaven's language. Angels respond to it. Demons tremble at it. Earth bends under it. Faith speaks and mountains move. Faith prays and chains fall. Faith acts and the unseen becomes visible. Some ask, does the herb drive away spirits? No, it is not the herb alone, but the faith that consecrates it. Some ask, does bathing scatter witchcraft? No, it is faith believing God has ordained even this small act as a weapon. Water is the stage. Herbs are the instruments. Faith conducts the symphony. Without it there is noise. With it there is power shaking heaven. The enemy fights belief. He does not fear motion. He fears faith. He does not tremble at boiling herbs. He trembles at belief that God's Spirit rests on them. He does not shrink at water. He shrinks at faith, knowing you are divinely covered. Faith transforms every act into an altar, every gesture into prayer, every ritual into revelation. So do not move in fear. Do not act in doubt. Faith is not an echo, it is a roar. Faith is not a whisper, it is a trumpet. Faith is the difference between water and fire, leaves and anointing, ritual and deliverance. When faith rises, even the smallest act becomes a weapon that breaks chains and scatters hell's plans. Freedom is not delayed. God's deliverance does. Not trickle, it floods. Chains do not loosen slowly, they shatter. Light does not enter gradually, it flees darkness. When faith meets action, when prayer meets obedience, freedom bursts forth like dawn after a long night. It does not ask permission, it does not apologize. It comes swiftly, completely, fully. Too long have we been told freedom is gradual. Hear this. The God who splits seas, silences lions, raises the dead, is not bound by time. Deliverance is immediate. Power is total. Freedom leaves no residue of captivity. When you bathe in the water, when herbs wrap their essence around you, it is not just washing, it declares the struggle is over. Spirits watching are blinded. Witchcraft is consumed. Chains drop with a clatter in the unseen realm. Freedom does not linger at the door. It kicks it open and pulls you into God's promise. Remember the man possessed by a legion. The moment the word came, demons begged. Remember the woman bent. For 18 years, the instant she was touched, she stood. Remember Paul and Silas in prison. At midnight, their praise caused chains to snap, doors to fly open, foundations to shake. This is divine freedom. Sudden, undeniable, irreversible. When faith rises and obedience acts, the bath is prophetic. Water does not just touch skin, it testifies to the Spirit. Herbs do not just scent the air, they announce that monitoring forces are defeated. Steam does not rise silently, it carries creation's song. This child is covered, this child is cleansed, this child belongs to the Lord. Do not listen to whispers that you must wait. Tomorrow is not God's language, now is His declaration, today is His word. At sunset, He does not hand pieces of freedom. He sets you entirely free, completely, without stain, without tether, without shadow. Freedom is immediate because bondage cannot stay where God's Spirit is. Freedom is complete because heaven does not do half works. Freedom is yours because Christ paid the full price. When he said it is finished, he meant chains broken, witchcraft destroyed, spirit scattered, soul unbound, destiny released, life unshackled forever. So stand in the water boldly. Let it flow over you in faith. Believe not just what you see, but what you know. The moment you enter, pray and believe the work is done. Heaven moves, earth shifts, hell retreats. Freedom is not fragile, partial, or temporary. It is immediate, complete, eternal. You have heard it. You have seen the thread woven from creation to now. The battle is real, but the weapons are realer. Earth groans, but herbs sing. Fire burns, but does not consume. Water cleanses, but does not drown. Every act is prophetic, every leaf anointed, every bubble of boiling water a sermon declaring darkness must flee. Spirits may watch, but their sight is shallow. They may follow, but their grip is weak. They may whisper, but their voice is drowned out by heaven's roar. They are parasites on borrowed time. The moment faith rises, they fall. Faith is the key, the bridge, the power transforming ritual into holy weaponry. You are reminded that nature carries God's anointing. Olive oil is not just for food. Field herbs are not just for flavor. Running water is not just for thirst. They witness his covenant. They fight for you. Freedom is not far. It is here. It is now. It is complete. Bathing in faith washes away dirt, watching spirits, witchcraft curses, generational chains. You step into prophecy, covenant, freedom that will not return void. Walk as one who knows. Pray as one who believes.